Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be unboxing and setting up a couple of beautiful iron arbors for our garden. See, we've got a whole bunch of boxes here in the gator. We're going to be working right here in the shade of this locust tree. One, because I don't want to scratch up the metal. It is a painted metal. And two, it's nice and shady. And it's going to be in the high 90s today, so it seems like a good spot for it. There's a couple of spots out in the garden that I've been eyeballing that I feel like an arbor would be a beautiful spot for these, and we're going to put them out in those spots today, and they're going to look perched because there's not a lot going on around both of these locations. But I feel like we'll put the arbor in and then we can build around it. And I just love arbors in the garden. I feel like they're just kind of this thing that beckons you. You just want to walk underneath them. You want to see what's beyond it, especially once you get your plantings, you know, a little bit more mature and thick around them. It's kind of just like that gateway, that doorway to a different spot to see something new. So I'm very excited. Now I went down to my parents' garden center. This point of the year though, it's a little bit slim pickings when it comes to iron. They're still actively bringing in concrete loads, plant loads, but iron loads, it's a little bit more few and far between. So they didn't have what I needed. So I started to root around on the internet. And I found this company, I know really nothing about them, out of Illinois. It's a small family-owned business and they do custom iron work. And I thought, this is perfect. I love small family-operated businesses because that's what I come from. Anyway, it's called A Rustic Garden. We'll put their information below. And I've not ever seen any of their pieces in person, so this is gonna be a first for me. So let's get these out of the boxes and start setting them up. Ooh, I think this is the top piece for the Gothic. I got one that's Gothic shape. I'll give you the names of them when we've got them out and set up or when I find the paperwork. But the thing that I found really cool about these, or when I was ordering the ordering process, is that they give you so many different options for finishes. And I tend to like black, you know, black pieces in terms of iron. So you can have them just unfinished or you can have them in so many different colors. And I chose Canyon Black was the color, but there was like 3 different black options too. Oh, look at this. Look at that shape. Okay, this will be our designated garbage box right here. Oh, okay, this is the arch for the other one. Okay, I'm guessing these are the straight pieces, the sides. Okay, here's my paperwork. So I ordered the wrought iron Henry arbor and the wrought iron Michael arbor. So Henry and Michael, both in Canyon Black. So these are the metal pieces that you drive into the ground. I'm guessing that you slide the sides over. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, it's sitting on the ground, obviously, but it's gorgeous. This is the Henry arbor. Figured that out. So, I mean, we'll be able to look at it in more detail here once it's set up, but look at the sides. I love the grid. The grid is beautiful. It's so strong and it's heavy because it is iron. And I like the little finials right here. They just slide right on. This one was a little bit wonky because you can see I could probably take a hammer and make that a little bit more square, but that was the only one like that. It still slides on, so I don't really have an issue with it. So, I mean, that's all for assembly on this one, other than we need to tip it up. Then we need to set it up in the spot where we want it, figure out exact placement. At that point, we've got these big old long stakes that we need to pound into the ground. So these right here, so wherever we leave the marks, you know, where we have it set up, we'll pound these into the ground, and then once they're all in, like halfway, we can slide the arbor over the stakes. And that should help keep it up. And this one right here, which is, I'm guessing the Michael arbor, right? I said that's the Henry arbor right there. Yes, this is the Michael arbor. The only difference in the setup is that there is a place right here to put some sort of a bolt, which I'm hoping is included in that box because I didn't find any hardware in these boxes. So, whew, hopefully we run across it. Oh gosh, this one's gorgeous. Oh, you guys, I love these arbors. I love them. They are so pretty just laying here in the grass. Now, I did not find the hardware for the top here, so we'll go to the barn and find something that will work. We just need 2. It just attaches on one spot on either side. So that should be pretty easy. Once we do that, it won't look so wonky. Like right now, it's not sitting very straight just because they aren't attached. So now we're gonna have to decide where we want which arbor. And they're both so beautiful. I don't know. I guess before we decide that, we need to get this arbor all fixed up with hardware. So let's get that done first. Okay, well, I showed Paul what we needed to do to attach these, and I stepped away for a moment, and in that moment, he got it all done. So right here, it's just a screw with a nut on the other side. And once we get this in place, I can just take a can of black spray paint and just touch up those little silver parts so that it blends in with the rest, although I don't even think you'll notice it. Here comes Aaron. He's gonna help me put these in place. What do you think? Good. I know.
I like how chunky they are. They look more
substantial.
Substantial, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like they're gonna hold some weight. Now this one you can see is more narrow than this one. And you know the 2 different spots I'm after. Yeah. Do you have a preference on which one goes where? So this one, you could plant a vine that maybe gets a little bit bigger because you'll have more space to...
Maybe like a nice rose.
It was sass, so much sass from him. We could set it up, right? You wanna do that?
Yeah.
First one is placed, and I just realized that my microphone was off for the last little bit, so hopefully the breeze wasn't messing up the audio too much. I apologize for that. But this is gorgeous. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love it. Now you can see that our stone walkway is not finished, so what we're gonna do today, this won't be exactly placed. I mean, it's exactly placed for today in between the 2 containers, but we are gonna be taking the rocks back to about right here, and we're gonna be doing a little bit of a different curve to come out. So when we get ready to do that, we'll just remove the arbor, finish up the rocks, and then place the arbor exactly where it needs to go. So I'm not gonna plant anything on it today. We're just going to put the pins in the ground so that it's at least upright and it won't fall over. It is so gorgeous though. There's something about like this structure right here and it not all being the same exact size that adds so much more to the overall feel of the design.
The flowers look good with it.
You like the flowers with it?
Yeah, it looks beautiful with it.
Oh, thanks, babe. I think the flowers are looking beautiful too.
Yeah.
It's a pretty mix of color.
I can't even build it like that.
You can't build an arbor like that?
No,
I bet you if you tried real hard, you could.
Yeah, because I can't get all the way up there and do that.
Well, that's a different piece. You know that one comes off?
That one comes off?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that one's tall, that one's small, and then it goes all the way to that.
Yep. I was thinking that planting maybe a couple of trees on either side would be really pretty. And I don't know if I'll do that in lieu of finishing off with yews, because I would need 2 more yews to finish this kind of design right here. Aaron wants these gone anyway. He kind of wants boxwoods instead of yews, which we may end up doing. They are a little bit more wild in their growth, and they are performing at very different levels. Like as just an example, let me go down this way a bit. So these clearly get full sun all day. The ones that are under more shade, because I did curve them underneath this ash tree, look at this. They are huge and they're doing really well. So they clearly are thriving in a more protected shady spot. Oh, look at the Gatsby pink, looking gorgeous. The Russian sage. Oh. And out here, I think it's a combination of things. I think they're stressed because they get just full on no mercy sun, but the ones on this side and like toward the end, it just got, I think, a little bit too much water. And that's because we had a bunch of annuals planted out here last year. So we had run extra drip out here. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what we'll end up doing. I kind of like them. Look a little bit more relaxed in their growth habit. But yeah, so I might end up putting a couple of trees right there to kind of end that design, or we'll put a couple more yews or boxwoods, whatever we end up going with, and then we'll put the trees kind of to the outside of that. I don't know, I think that would look really pretty to kind of frame it in and have some tree canopy kind of meeting, kind of extending that arbor, really. Okay, so let's get this one installed and then we'll move this second one out, which is in the back of the gator now. Yeah.
Ooh, these are hot. Hot tamale.
Woo. Oh, it's just shifted a bunch. Oh, really? Probably good. I'll move the pots away, and I kind of want to redirect the way this goes. This little spot right here is right where the pot was sitting. Okay, this one is installed. Pins are in the ground. Looks great. And Aaron's just commenting on how it actually makes the pots make more sense out here. It does. You know, eventually we'll have this whole area all developed and it'll be full of beautiful things. And it won't look as perched as it does now. And until it's tucked in, it'll be interesting to see how many more cars stop here thinking it's the pathway to the house. Okay, let's head out to the south garden. Okay, we are in the next spot and I'm going to kind of walk you through what I'm thinking. I think I walked you through it not long ago, but I'm gonna do it again. So you can see we're standing in the formal flower garden. I'm standing on one of the brick pathways and I just was walking it one day and thought, you know what, wouldn't it be beautiful if we put an arbor right here with a little meandering walkway taking you through the center part of the south garden. Now, we do have some plants in the way, so that's gonna look a little bit weird, and I feel like it's gonna get a bit too hot maybe to move these plants today.
We can just put the arbor.
We can. I think it's only going to, I don't know, depending on exactly where it goes, it's gonna be probably 3 to 5 plants. We've got a rose, a couple Russian sage, there's a calycanthus and a achillea, a yarrow right there. I think all of those will have to move, but then once the arbor's here, we can go in with this pathway and see there's kind of this natural pathway anyway. I don't know why we kind of ended up with that, but I thought if we just hopped it through this area and then, you know, we can carve out a space here, or I was thinking of moving some of these rudbeckias. We could have the pathway continue on through to whatever we eventually put in that big opening, which, let me just walk you over here. Yeah, so it'd take you through to whatever structure we end up with, which I did plan on having a pathway enter in here as well and out, and then also out on that side. But to have that pathway from the formal flower garden lead somewhere, I just think that that would be such a neat feel. And it just draws you through. I mean, arbors and pathways both help you do that. Oh, you've already got it set up. So now we've got to get it centered with the walkway. Yeah. That's always fun. It's gorgeous. We've decided to run some strings. Probably good. Okay, so now we should be able to professionally place this one.
Oh, not professionally.
Oh yes, this is so beyond professional for me. I'm not sure I've ever run a string to place an arbor, but it'll be worth it. Isn't this gorgeous right here? It just adds so much to this space, and it gives this space a reason, I guess. I mean, not that you need one, all the plants are beautiful and I love that, but boy, having this and then the eventual walkway is so awesome. I am gonna have to remove all 5 of the plants that we talked about. The calycanthus, 2 Russian sage, the yarrow, and the rose. I'm thinking we pop the Russian sage just right in here. We can pop the calycanthus right back here. The rose I could just rehome. The yarrow I could rehome. Yeah, it'll be easy. And then I've got 2 vines in the high tunnel, some Kintzley ghost honeysuckle, which we used to have on our front fence line. We had 2 of them, and they were dug up and taken to a friend's garden when we took that garden out to make way for the big lawn. So anyway, we get to have those back in the garden. I think this will be a great spot for them.
Boom. Yes, you got black on your hands.
I know, that's why I thought I'd probably have it on my face too. All right, I went and got some supplies and our Kintzley Ghost honeysuckle, so we're ready to do some plant moving, which is not ideal this time of year, but I kind of want to get this project moving forward. Our Kintzley Ghost honeysuckles are just so beautiful. They're a non-invasive type honeysuckle. They grow about 6 to 12 feet tall, 5 feet wide, which is going to be plenty huge for this trellis and arbor rather. Part of me does not want to even put anything on it because it's such a gorgeous piece on its own, but I want there to be something on it. So we're going to try this one out. They looked absolutely beautiful when we had them on our front fence line, and we can prune them to keep them a little bit more in size check. But these, they're kind of like this medium green, just a really pretty color of green. But when they bloom, the bracts that hold the blooms on are round and they're silvery blue. They look like eucalyptus. In fact, a lot of people mistake the Kintzley Ghost for eucalyptus when they're in bloom. And the flowers that are in the center, they're not like huge flowers, but they're pretty and they attract hummingbirds like crazy. And those blooms turn into berries. They're blue and red berries in the fall, which I find the most beautiful time for this vine. It's just a really fun one. I think it's a zone 4 through 8. It's not fussy about soil. It does want quite a lot of sun. But I think they're going to do real well right here. And you know, in the process of creating new garden spaces around here, we've had to relocate or rehome a lot of different plants. And there's not a lot of things that have made me sad to have to do that with. But the Kintzley Ghost honeysuckles, that was a tough one because I loved those up there. So now we'll have them back. But first we've got to do our plant moving. So I'm going to dig my holes where these are going to go, or some of these are going to go first. And then we'll dig them out and move them. I probably should have changed into regular shoes. I'm kind of in it to win it with my sandals today, but I'm not using the auger, I'm using a shovel, so we should be all right. I'll just have dirty feet. Here we go. I wanted to show you the approach. Look at this. So you come off this brick sidewalk and you immediately are pulled forward to come through this area. Now we're gonna have to, fix the drip in this space and start developing this a little bit and put some flagstones through here. But oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. And that poor Calicanthus is already feeling its move. Oh, I have a slow hose on it and I filled that hole full of water. I kind of expected it to do that. I mean, don't transplant things when it's going to be high 90s. Just learn from me. Sometimes though, the project becomes priority and you just want to get it done. So I just, moved things knowing it would be a risk. We'll keep them very moist and they'll be fine. They'll just probably look a little bit unhappy for a bit. But these honeysuckles look gorgeous. Look at that. This whole little grouping right here is very pleasing to me. The Russian sage, this is the lemon squeeze penstemon right here. It's a phenomenal ornamental grass. I just love it. And it sends up these chocolate brown seed heads later on in the season. And then we've got some echinacea. I cannot remember the variety name of this one, but just looks really pretty. All of these things together. And then with that soft green of the honeysuckle, it's beautiful. Now I decided not to move the yarrow or the other Russian sage for now until we decide how the walkway goes, because I like things to kind of spill over the edge, kind of like this grass is doing. And that might just be perfect. They got a little wind blown. I need to plant something right on the edge to kind of help protect the tall yarrow there. But yeah, I just decided to leave those for now. But overall, a beautiful look. It's exactly what I was hoping for this space, and I love these arbors. Oh. So again, we will link them down below so you can go check out all their stuff. They've got tons of things, tons of different styles of arbors. They've also got arbor extenders. So like especially the more rounded arbor that we put up front, they've got them to where you can make them extra wide, and they've got gazebos and all kinds of different things. I just had a fun time looking through the website. So again, we will link their website down below if you want to go check them out, but I'm just really thrilled with this whole thing. And I can see the other arbor from here. I don't think you probably can in the camera, but I can see it over there, and it just looks so pretty to have something else going up there, something hardscape. And the fact that we're gonna be able to see these through the winter time makes me extra happy. Now, one other thing we are gonna do is, because these are hollow right here, all the way to the bottom, we're gonna go get some really beefy rebar, and we are going to drive rebar stakes down through each one of these posts. And we'll just do it in a way that we make sure that there's enough room for this to go down, you know, back down over the top. But that way we'll have some strength, some extra strength. I don't think that those pins are beefy enough. I think they need to be at least twice or maybe 3 times as long as they are, which I think they could ship them like that, because, you know, these are tall. So I think they need to be taller, because once these things have weight on them, I mean, these are strong arbors, probably some of the more strong arbors I've ever put up in my garden before. But I still think with the weight of vines and the amount of wind we get, they're gonna need the extra stability. So that's an extra step we are gonna take when we have time to do that. So stay tuned for whatever ends up happening in this space. The other thing I was thinking is, what if it was just a little pathway on its own that came through here, and maybe there was like this little bistro set in there and it just stops there, and then we let the other space be its own thing. Might be kind of fun, little kind of secret spot in here. But anyway, those are different projects for different days. It is getting hot out here, so that is going to be it for today. Loved setting these up, loved the way they look, and I love that we have the Kintzley Ghost honeysuckles back in our garden. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's projects, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.